my name is Sophia Chirac, and the name of my project is Smooth Stones.
So what did you study?
I studied how weathering affects the amount of mass, how the hardness of rocks on the Mohs hardness scale affects the weathering that happens to them when rock tumbling grit is rubbed against them in a rock tumbler.
Interesting. So how did you go about doing this experiment?
What I did is I ordered some rocks off of Amazon, lapis lazuli, red jasper, and labradorite, and then I separated them into piles, washed them off, and then I put them inside of the rock tumbler. One of them at a time. First I did lapis lazuli. I put it inside of the rock tumbler, added grit and rock tumbling little ceramic things into it, and then I set them tumbling for the week. After the week, I opened up the barrel, poured them out into a strainer to wash all the grit off of them, and then I weighed them to see how their weight had changed after the rock tumbling. Then I did the same process with the other stones, and after that I compared the data to see which stone had lost the most mass.
Very interesting. So explain to me your variables. What was your thing that you were changing?
I was changing the stone, which is changing the hardness of the rock, and I was seeing if the harder the rock or the softer the rock affects the amount of mass that was lost.
And what were those things that you kept the same?
I kept the same, the amount of grit used, the same rock tumbler, the same ceramic material, the same type of grit, and yeah.
Oh, you had a lot of variables there, didn't
Yes.
you? So tell me about the data that you collected.
The data that I collected was the weight of the rocks before tumbling and the weight of the rocks after tumbling.
And you did that in an interesting way. Can you explain to me how you did that? Did you do each individual rock, or did you do them as a group?
So I weighed them all together before tumbling and all together after tumbling to see how much mass they lost during the tumbling process.
Awesome. That was a good way to do that challenge. So what did your data tell you afterwards? What did you find?
I found that I'm pretty sure the red jasper lost the most mass, and funny enough, it was the highest mass on the Mohs hardness scale, which I found kind of shocking.
Which leads me to my next question. Was your hypothesis correct or incorrect?
My hypothesis was incorrect because I guessed that I'm pretty sure it was the number 6 on the Mohs hardness scale would lose the most amount of mass.
Interesting. And what was your favorite thing about doing this project?
My favorite thing was seeing how smooth and shiny the stones turned out after I tumbled them.
Awesome. And is there anything else you'd like to share with us about your project?
Yes, my application. My application could be used to see how much mass would be lost during the tumbling process, depending on the stones. So if you wanted bigger stones, you could do stones with less hardness, and then if you wanted smaller stones, you could do stones with higher hardnesses.
Very interesting. Well, thank you so much for sharing all of that with us.